All right, what's up, guys? Justin, what's up, man? How we doing? Happy Thursday to you.
Hello, Ryan. How's it going?
Oh man, we're gonna switch it up a little bit tonight. It'll be a little bit shorter, and we're just gonna go right to your picks. We're gonna start with something positive and
Yeah,
focus. We'll get to the Ravens on the back end, but there's we're running out of things to talk about. We need to get to the game on Sunday, and you're coming off another winning week. So let's just fire away. What do you got for? I think what do we got? 6 teams on a bye. It's the
six
biggest
teams on a
bye.
bye. Yep,
Yeah.
only so many games to choose from. But yeah, going to the hot hand, going to me. I think I've maybe 3 weeks in a row over 500. So
You are.
see if I
You're
can keep it up.
let's roll.
Um,
What we got?
and just in the order of the games I see, it's funny enough. This is the first game. I'm going with the Ravens. I think
No,
it's
no, no.
obviously three.
You save it for the end. Save it for the end because you'll get me
Okay.
sidetracked. You'll get me all going. You're on the record. You got the Ravens, and
Yeah, I'll say that last. All
yeah,
right, first
you'll have
pick.
some positive things at the
Um,
end.
Yep, Atlanta -7 against Miami. Miami seems like the biggest shit show in the league besides their AFC East brethren, the Jets,
Shoot.
and then throwing the Titans too. So there's some pretty bad teams in the AFC. But yeah, I don't Tua. Even if he plays, I haven't even looked if it's Tua or Ewers. Obviously, the coach is sick of stuff going on. Tua's got a lot of weird stuff going on. Um, I picked against Atlanta last week because I thought it was a bad spot. Now I'm going back to them. They're back home. I think they right the ship back here and win the game. I don't see it being close, so I'm taking them.
I was gonna say you
Minus the
bet the
points.
Falcons. I think you bet the Falcons every week, whether you bet on them or against them. You feel like you
I
got
have
a
a good
really.
feel for them. I hit them against the Bills, and then I went against them against the Niners. So I'm
I
going
can never
in the
endorse.
pinball.
Yeah, I don't like the Falcons. I don't like betting on them. I had the Niners the other night. They just do silly things. But, if you're looking for the easy game, sometimes it seems a little too easy. But the way the Dolphins are playing is a freaking disaster. Then they go to Atlanta, like they're all not going to go out and have fun, at least on Saturday night. So tough spot for the
Yep.
Dolphins. And
Yep.
already, actually, I've seen 7.5 this morning. So
Yeah,
seven
it
now.
might have gone up. So whatever the best line out there is, I got Atlanta. Also, a lot of these games I like tease opportunities.
Mhm.
Add 6 points to the spread. So if Atlanta down to 1.5 with another team, definitely an option. There's a lot of spreads around 7 this week. But anyway, next game, I'm going with the Giants. They worked for me last week. Going back to them, I still don't. I'll go it again. I don't believe in the Eagles that much. I don't think they're that good. They still have no running game. And the Giants, hopefully, they take all the positives from last week. They obviously blew the game. They could kind of let that tail spin a little bit. But I think they've found a lot of good things going. And division rivalry, I know they just played them a few weeks ago, and they got the best of the Eagles. So maybe
Let me
you
ask
would
you a
think they'd
question.
turn around on it. But
So there's 5:16 left in the game. I've been thinking about this. I watched the entire game. It was a crazy game, and everybody's hammering Dayball because they said he should have just ran the ball, and then Dart throws the interception. But if they
yep.
don't get a first down there, it's not like the Broncos can't score in 2 minutes. I didn't think that was the world's worst decision. I kind of like the idea of going for the kill. Take me through that in real time. Were you screaming and yelling? Because I saw some people the next day acting as if that was the worst coaching decision ever. But the way I looked at it is if they didn't get the first down, the Broncos score a touchdown within about 2.5 minutes, and then they still would have been able to get the ball back with a chance. So I didn't think that. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when things go bad, you kind of get criticism for it. But yeah, the play there is to get the first down, however you think is best to get
Yeah.
it. So I mean, yeah, obviously Dart did not make a good throw, good decision there. But
What do you think? What do you think of him?
I think it looks solid for a rookie. They got a lot of good things going, and their defense, obviously besides the fourth quarter last week, has really played pretty well lately. I think they match up well against the Eagles, and so
It is a gut check game for them for sure because if they play well, that is a great sign that didn't bother them. I do
right.
think they'll be better. They're going to be a really great hire if they get rid of Dayball. You get Neighbors back next year, probably high draft pick. Probably going to lose a bunch of games, but you definitely did see a flash there. All right, so you
Yeah, I
got
mean
the
they seem to have a good bright future, at least
yeah.
for now.
It's a tough. I don't think I love the game, to be honest with you, because I don't know why they beat the crap out of the Eagles. Is it a good matchup, or
Yeah.
did they catch the
There's
Eagles?
honestly with the 6-5 teams we mentioned, there's only so many games.
Yeah.
So, but next one is a classic. If you've been paying attention to my picks, you know exactly where I'm going here. I really don't like one of these teams, and I really like the other team, at least when you look at the point spreads. So I'm going with Carolina. I see 7.5 against Buffalo at home.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce Young hasn't been that great, but I like the chemistry he's built there. I wish he was playing. I don't think Dalton is that big of a downgrade. The spread really hasn't moved at all, so Vegas doesn't think it's really a difference. And yeah, I just don't believe in the Bills to be that much better than all these other teams that they're a 7.5-point favorite on the road. Their biggest problem is run defense. Carolina's been running it super well with Dowdle, and now Chubb is back. I think they can control the clock a little bit. But the Bills will score. Carolina's defense isn't all that special. Allen will probably bounce back and play a good game, but I see this being pretty close. So I'm
I was gonna say
take 7.5 at home.
As soon as I saw these games, I 100% knew you'd take the Panthers.
I circled this 2 weeks ago.
I can't get the Panthers game right. I did have them at 9-8 before the year, so I'm kind of with you. I do like the Panthers.
I had their over win total. I sprinkled a little bit on them to make the playoffs.
I was really impressed. I'm big on. I think it's because I'm biased because the Ravens in like '99. Remember, we finished the year before we won the Super Bowl on like a high note. Didn't make the playoffs, and I just remember Billick always talking about how important he thought that was. And the Panthers last year, I believe,
well,
yeah, and they beat the Falcons at the end of the year in a crazy game. All right, what's your fourth game?
Yep. Back to the NFC South. It's a matchup of two teams there. I'm taking the frisky Saints.
Seriously?
Yep, getting 4.5 at home. I think this is a gut feeling on this one, and to be honest, there's not many other games I like, so I just had to pick one. This would probably be my least confident out of the bunch, but I think the Saints they've been playing teams tough. Bucks coming off the first bad loss of the year, which I called last week.
That was bad. That was a bad loss. Let's talk about that game for a second. What did you think? What the hell?
Off, which has been unusual for him. He missed some wide open guys, and Detroit just without a lot of pieces in the secondary somehow played well. Hutchinson's a monster. I wish we had someone like him.
I feel like when you go back, this would be a cool thing for sports books to release at the end of the year. Like, which game did they lose the most amount of money on, and which games did they make the most amount of money on? Now
they made a lot on the Detroit last week.
Oh my god! Because now with all the prop bets, I do genuinely wonder. I mean, Vegas has to like recalculate what the hell they're rooting for. It's kind of funny. Probably being a bookmaker is just as crazy as being a bettor now with all the different things that are happening. But yeah, that Lions-Bucks game was right with all. I mean, the Bucks get their receivers back. The Lions don't have their secondary. The Lions are supposed to go down the field no matter who they're playing at home, and instead you get unders all over the board.
Right. People probably like the overs. They probably like Tampa players to do shit.
Right.
Probably liked a lot of points.
And it's Monday Night Football.
So Tampa keeps winning or being in close games. So getting 6 was probably like a gift to most people's views.
I did think the reviews. I mean, holy shit! That the one with the tight end. Anyway, we're getting in the weeds of it. But the Bucks, they didn't play great by any stretch, and they normally don't play good against New Orleans. Notoriously, Dennis Allen was always cooking Tom Brady for the 3 years he was down there. The Saints would always beat him. Tough spot,
except in the playoffs. But yeah, no Mike Evans. Seems like he's out for the year or a long time, which sucks for them.
Yeah, that definitely out for a minute. So, all right,
they're not a great team, but you never know.
Before we get to the Ravens, we'll get you out here in a few minutes. But before we get to the Ravens, couple quick hitters. Which team now that we've seen, we're getting there, where we don't have to make decisions on teams, but we're starting to see enough of them. I'm going to stay in the division here and talk about the other 3 teams before we get to the Ravens. What's the read? We'll go bottom all the way up. What's the read on the Browns? They're 2-5. Is it still a 0% chance that they can actually be good this year? Or is there something going on with how good their defense is playing and the running game that you see them being frisky because Dylan Gabriel is just not the answer, right? Like the
Yeah,
Browns.
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I have a lot of friends and coworkers that are from that area, so they're Cleveland fans, and it's the same thing. Like they still need a quarterback, and you need a quarterback to be successful in this league. They have pretty much everything else. Their rookie running back looks good. Their defense looks good. Coach has a solid track record, but they need to land the quarterback.
Right, like they still can't win more than I don't think 5 games.
I don't see more than 5 this year.
Yeah. What about Cincinnati? Flacco gets it done. What a masterpiece that was. That everybody had fun watching that. That was great. Jamar Chase is always open. They made that look so easy. It was like, are they playing on pro, like on Madden or something? Like, what happened? Why is he just always open?
Right.
And then who they play this week? The Bengals get an easy game, right? They get the Jets. So, and I believe they get the Steelers, and they got somebody else that's kind of easy after the Jets. So they have a relatively decent schedule. What's your read on Cincinnati? Do they stay afloat?
They get to play us twice. Hopefully we can figure that out.
But they're going to get Burrow back here. They're probably going to get Burrow back the week after Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back.
I did not hear that. I heard it might be longer than the 3-month timetable.
Wow. Well, either way, do you think Cincinnati's worth talking about, or should we?
Worth talking about, yeah, because I mean, for one, our division obviously isn't all that good. They clearly have the potential to be a solid team. I don't think they're that as good as they looked last week. I don't think Flacco's going to be able to do that every week or even come close. It might have been a little lightning in a bottle, but he's clearly better than Browning.
This would be the perfect game.
I don't believe in their defense really at all.
He's probably going to turn the ball over 5 times this week, and the Jets will beat him.
Yeah, I feel like the public sees that game and it's like, oh, Cincinnati's going to crush them. I'm wary of that.
Yeah, I'd be wary of that too. And what about Pittsburgh? They're going to play Green Bay. That's probably the game of the week. It's Sunday Night Football. That should be a really good game. And really weird because Aaron Rodgers is, I think, better than everybody expected, and the Steelers' defense is worse than everybody expected. When I watch the Steelers play defense, I'm like, I just expect it to turn around, but I wonder if that's just the nostalgia of the Steelers' defense because just watching it,
they're good at creating turnovers, and they've been good at that for years.
Always
they don't really do much else that good. Watt, I mean, he's a great player, but it's not as impactful as he's been in the past.
They don't get the pass rush. Yeah, they're just not as it's just that would be a really big game for them. If they beat Green Bay, I think that's like a springboard for them where they're like a legit team because Green Bay is playing not great, but the record's good. It would be a big time game. And it's interesting.
I think it's a tough game. I kind of think it's a toss up because I don't think Green Bay is all that special.
They barely snuck past Arizona. Arizona, what a dumpster fire, right? Like 5 straight losses for them.
Fun fact about that is when they were 2-0, I put a little bit on their under 9.5 wins, which already seems like it's gonna win.
Dude, I mean,
Murray got hurt. It's somewhat impactful, but
I had the over for the preseason. Felt good that they snuck 2 wins, and once that Titans game,
they blew the Titans game, that might have been their season.
Can't do it. All right, couple things for you. 14-3 off bye weeks. John Harbaugh, Baltimore Ravens. 14-3 off bye weeks.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on here? Is Lamar playing a gut feeling? I have him. Let's be positive. I have him practicing again tomorrow, but something tells me I don't know. I like that the point spread 6.5 makes me think that.
You really think there's a chance he doesn't play?
A chance? I definitely think there's a chance. He's limited. I don't know. I didn't think he was going to play going into the week. That was my read on it. And then when I don't know. What you're 100% sure? Am I just the only one that thinks that he might not play?
You're definitely not the only one. I'm calling it 85% sure. He can't not play. It's pretty simple.
Oh Lord, if I'm him, it can't not play. I mean, you don't want to think this about people, but the reality of the situation is whatever your job is, assuming you don't work for yourself, if you work for somebody at some capacity and you go on vacation for a week, it's not great if everything just runs 1,000% better while you're gone. And depending on the situation, maybe it's a little better if they miss you while you're gone. And in the Ravens situation, they haven't really treated Lamar exactly the way I think Lamar would like to be treated. I think Lamar can play. I think he could have played 3 weeks ago. I think the hamstring is really dicey, and I don't know how he's going to feel Sunday morning. And if he doesn't feel 100%, I'm not sure he's going to play. So, regardless whether he plays or he doesn't play, I'd rather just assume that we're going to play much better, because I think the team's built where obviously we need Lamar down the stretch, but we should be able to beat this Bears team. Like, let's just talk about the Bears here for a second, because we've beaten the Ravens up forever. If I'm trying to be positive going into this game, this Bears team is just not that good. Like, I've watched them now the past few weeks. I've been reading a lot of, the local news going into it. Like, what do they think about their team? And it's like they can't even find positive things to say. And I just have a really hard time thinking DeAndre Swift's just going to run down our throat.
I was going to say that's been their bread and butter lately.
Is that really going to happen? Like, am I just going to watch where, the DeAndre Swift's fucking Priest Holmes or something, and we can't stop the Bears? Like, are they going to put up 30 points against us? Or is Caleb going to get sacked? We have 1 sack this year. Or no, excuse me. We have 1 interception, and then we're tied for last in sacks.
8 sacks. Yeah, it's bad.
Caleb loves getting sacked. I think it's his favorite thing to do. We have to find a way to get to him, right? I mean, like, what do you think?
Yeah, we're as healthy as we've been since probably the first week. We had to bye to reset. Hopefully the coaches did something over 2 weeks to come up with some better game plans. They've talked all the talk, but obviously they got to execute. We have. I see no other way, but we have to play better. We have to create more pressure, create more chaos on their offense. I don't think Caleb Williams is there yet. The Bears they're okay, but this is a game where a good team, which we still can be, even though our record says we're not, where they win the game. It's just pretty simple. But I do think we need Lamar. If we don't have Lamar, it's going to be a toss-up.
Yeah, well,
he's a huge difference, and I think he plays.
All right. Well, I think we'll go with the fact that you think he's going to play. That sounds
which is why my 5th pick is the Ravens.
There you go. Well, look, the Ravens -6.5 is predicated on Caleb Williams just not being that good this year. If you watched him play, he makes a couple plays, and he's going to make a couple plays on Sunday. But he makes these plays that just are out of rhythm of the offense. And DeAndre Swift has really gotten going. But I just can't imagine he's going to get going against us, especially in the first half.
I think we'll at the very least fix up the run defense.
Yeah, I would expect that. Plus, the Bears have been playing these emotional games. They had the back-to-back 25-24. Yeah. And then they did play.
They could have lost both games easily.
Yeah. A lot of the metrics don't. The one thing that I take pause in with the Bears is when you won 4 games in a row and the other teams lost 4 games in a row. If the game doesn't start the way you want it to start, it is a absolute nightmare. It doesn't matter if you're 8 years old or you're a professional football player. You can't help but be like, oh shit, here we go again. Or if you're in a good mood, you're just flying high. So the Bears are in a good mood. You can write bad things about them and people can criticize them, but when they get there Sunday, I mean, they've won 4 straight. They haven't been in the playoffs in a gazillion years. So they feel like they're ready to make a move. And the Ravens are going to have to win the first quarter. They're going to have to.
Let me throw out one more thing. 2 parts to this. Just pick-wise, handicapping-wise. Assuming Lamar plays, let's throw that out there. I truly think there's potential that we actually could kill them. Just take out all our anger, take out all our frustration. Have 2 weeks to build up to this. And that's why the spread's so high to begin with when you look at a 4-2 versus 1-5 team. It's assuming Lamar plays.
Yeah.
And when we win games throughout the last 5 years and Lamar's playing time, we tend to beat teams by a lot. So my play would be even alternate spread, 9.5, 13.5. Or honestly, if we lose, if it's a close game, we probably lose. So Bears money line would be like the other side of that coin.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. All right. Well, look, I know you got to roll.
That's my 2 cents there.
We did it late tonight. All right. Well, I appreciate it. See you guys. Go through them one more time. Give it to me, the 5 games.
Yep, we got Atlanta. We got the Giants, Panthers, Saints, Ravens.
Got it. All right, you're the man. See you next week. Or actually, no, we're gonna probably skip next week because the Ravens are playing the Dolphins on Thursday night. God willing, that is we're going for back-to-back wins for the first
Right.
time.
God willing, we have a win under our belt since.
That would be a 1000% victor. If we win this week, if there's a bet you can, if I were advising any Ravens bet for this week, this would be my advice. Ravens parlay money line this week with if you can, like whatever, if they give you a spread for the Ravens Dolphins game ahead of time, because I would say there's a 100% chance if we win this week that Lamar plays on Thursday night at Miami with everybody watching, we're winning that game by however many points they'll fit on the scoreboard. So as long as they win this week, I got us being 3-5. And then, at that point, we're probably favored to be back into the playoffs. So I would imagine the way everything can play out in a month is a lot different than we're feeling today, right? Everybody's already said that.
Yep.
But we got to see what happens on Sunday. So, all right. Anyway, appreciate you. See you guys tomorrow. And we'll get back here in a couple weeks.
Yep. Thanks, Ryan. I'll see you later.
Chargers still killing.